What is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to the fourth and final locals feature match for this week. We've got Dragon Link on the left versus Earth Machine on the right, piloted by yours truly. I was in the round 2 feature match that got posted on Tuesday. If you guys haven't seen that one and you're hungry for more Earth Machine content, I'll leave a link to that video up in the top right. But let's take a look at the poll results. I asked you guys who you thought would win here in the final round. Just about 900 votes, and a majority of the votes going towards Dragon Link, saying they would take the dub. So let's see if you guys are right for the 4th time in a row. And, you know, of course, me starting off losing die roll really doesn't help much. But I do have an okay hand. Like, it works. I have Imperm Fortress Overdrive called by Heavy Forward. So the Imperm, you know, I really wanted to hold it for a good long while because, like, one Imperm against a Dragon Link deck, unless they open really terrible, is not going to be too impactful. So it's either I, you know, hold the card until their turn is completely done and hit something like a Savage or a Hot Red with it, or I could try to use it on what I feel is the absolute, like, sort of like linchpin of their combo, which I feel like hitting Rocket Tracer Effective Summon from deck is probably one of the more, like, high impactful things you can hit, as my opponent draws a Troll and Lockbird there for his Noctivision draw, and then goes ahead and activates Chaos Space, discards the Effect Veiler to go ahead and search the Black Dragon. And then we're going to see Black Dragon get summoned here, and yeah, you know, classic Dragon Link shenanigans. But I was glad I at least opened up one going second card. I think I was playing 11 in my deck list. Technically 12. Technically 13, because I would count Call by the Grave as a going second card against the Dragon Link strategy because it's so good at countering seals, which of course my opponent has ended on, and they usually will pretty much always end on it. Because the card is just very easy to make and is pretty decent. It's interruption plus follow-up, so very good card to have a called by for. So we're seeing him make Pisty, you know, black, search white, summon white, Chaos Space, put back black, draw one. You know, all very standard. I'm waiting for the boot sector launch to put the Tracer on the field, you know, so I can imperm it. But, like, I see him already have a level 4 body on field, like, so it's not going to be that high impact, you know. He's dumping Abza Router to add the Tracer, and then he's going to, you know, slap the boot sector on the field, summon Tracer. And I'm like, you know, should I imperm Tracer still? He's still going to get access to Ruler. But, you know, at least he's not going to get access to something like Rocket Synchron or Rechargers. He accidentally reveals the Droll Lock, getting it mixed up with his Rocket Tracer. So I was like, okay, well, you know, I mean, I'm not going to, you know, pretend like I know the Drolls in hand. I'm just going to, like, forget about it, right? I'm not going to be that guy. Again, this is just locals, so I wait for him to use Tracer. I do fire the Imperm there. Like I said, I had the option of either just holding it completely to use at the start of my turn to hit one of his interruptions, or I could just trade here with the Tracer, which is what I decided to do. And he still goes into the Chaos Ruler. Mills double Chaos Space safer. Like, really strong Mills here. And I believe he takes the Black Metal Dragon. But now that we're at this point in the video, I want to mention something. There are some very specific plays and interactions in this matchup that I want to very specifically address, because it's a very good learning experience, and I'll talk more about that in detail in just a moment. So, you know, me hitting the Tracer, preventing him from getting something like Synchron out of the deck, keeps him from being able to go into something like, you know, a Hot Red here. He's like, you know, do I want to link these off? But, you know, he is locked into dragons currently, so it's not like he can make IP or anything, so he just passes turn. So hitting the Tracer with the Imperm ended up, I think, being a pretty good call. And I'm not sure actually what my 6th card was here. I think it might have been Citadel, I'm not sure, but I lead with a Heavy Forward. Heavy Forward is going to go ahead and search me a copy of Harvester, right? I mean, I know he has Droll. Technically, I shouldn't know, but, you know, I'm not going to act like I do. No, he has Droll. I'm just gonna, and it's not like I could really play around it either. Like, I know I have Called By, but, like, I don't want to Called By the Droll because I have Dozer in hand already, and I just need to get a monster on board to be able to tribute for Dozer, and I'm saving the Called By for the seals because that's, again, interruption plus follow-up, and I'd rather him not have either of those things. So, just calculating my options here, do I want to summon Fort to the board first, or do I just want to literally commit the normal to the Harvester, right? And see what he does. So on normal, he does bounce it back, knowing that I have the Dozer in hand, probably to tribute off with it. If he bounces, I won't have anything to tribute, but I do have the call by to banish it, and I'm still able to summon Dozer here. Dozer summons Trencher, and we still go for River Stormer, which we can still use under Droll. It's one of the reasons why I love River Stormer. It's like, even if you get Drolled playing Earth Machine, you still have options. You can dump Bullet for follow-up. You can dump Citadel for interruptions. Like, so many good options. So I go ahead and use River Stormer here. Send Citadel from the deck to the grave because I already have Overdrive in hand. So I can do, the Cruncher Citadel combo with the Overdrive. The chain block tactic, if you will. Chainlink 1, Cruncher, Chainlink 2, Citadel, or vice versa. To make sure they can't hit it with something like Bell or Meister. So right here, like, I could link off my Goliath or my Stormer into Goliath and like Trencher something back, but I want to keep that as follow-up since I have Trencher Harvester in grave already. So I want to keep that as a follow-up line of play. I've got Fortress in hand. I've got Citadel in grave. I've got Overdrive. So much follow-up at this point. Battle phase, clear the Pisty, right? Do I want to attach that before I decide against or maybe turn to defense? So I just go ahead and pass turn. Now, this is something I want to go ahead and mention. So the plays you're about to see me make next are all plays that I made under the assumption that Seals can bounce during either player's turn. I don't know why I thought this. The card is literally on the table for me to read, but I just did not bother to do it. I don't know if it was the nerves that got to me, the fact that I literally hadn't eaten anything in several hours, like since like maybe 8 hours before the tournament. I don't want to make too many excuses, but like, I was just so caught up in the fact that the last time I played Dragon Link with Earth Machine, which is usually a very easy matchup, the last time I lost to it is because my opponent Citadel bounced, or Seals bounced my Citadel target, making it fizzle. Citadel's normally huge against Dragon Link. They really can't establish a board underneath it if you use it at a proper time. So I see him normal summon the black metal. I'm like, he's going to link into Seals, get a search of Red MD, and then I'm going to try to go Citadel at any point during the combo, and he's just going to bounce the target back, and it's not going to resolve. But if we literally read Seals, it says during the opponent's turn, quick effect, return a card. So you're going to see me use Citadel here, which is absolutely incorrect. And yeah, I played this game here very, very poorly. And I was upset about it in the moment and after the fact, on the hours afterwards. Like, I was very, very upset about how I played this specific game here. And, instead of like constantly dwelling on it, right, and letting it get the best of me, why not go ahead and use it as a opportunity to learn and to grow from my mistakes and become a better player? Because this is just something, like, again, it's so simple looking back on it, but like in the moment it's just something I just couldn't like comprehend, that like that was something that I could just let him wait, let him extend, like let him link it off, let him keep playing. And now he has Brotar, plus he gets to search Red MD, which is the discard. So it's like was it like Chainlink 1 Metal Dragon, Chainlink 2 Brotar to summon. So he summoned, searches, and then a new chain Brotar, discard the search target, and then he goes ahead and gets to banish 3 here because he got to search Levy. So Levy's going to summon, allow him to pop 2. And I can't use Citadel here because I already used its graveyard effect. So, if you let that line go, if you let him link off probably, the black metal and the chaos ruler, he probably goes into his Seals, searches, summons Red MD. Like, I let him keep spinning his wheels, right? And then I, use the Citadel later on. Like, sure, he might be able to still get to Chaos Ruler because of Brotor, but at least he's not going to be able to do the things that you're going to see him do next, which ended up ultimately being the problem. Like, it's just one of those things that's like, it just, I was doing so well this tournament, only for it to like all kind of collapse here in this last moment. And like, I mean, these things happen. Like, you're gonna have these games where like you're in the moment, your brain's telling you one thing and you're so sure of it, and then you somebody tells you after the fact, why didn't you do this? And it just immediately clicks in your head and like, what was I thinking? It's almost like you were just like being like brainwashed during that game. And like you see it so clearly afterwards, but in the heat of it, you just completely miss it. And I know somebody's gonna be watching this video without audio and they're like, man, this Earth Machine player is garbage. I'm literally atoning for my sins. I apologize. And safer to add back the Levy as Borosword. Like, obviously that's going to be game, and we're gonna head into a game 2. And really quickly before we get started, a quick shout out to Imperium Duelist. If you're interested in either of the playmats, they're both from Imperium Duelist. The one on the left is currently not available, but the one on the right is. They sell all sorts of amazing playmats, deck boxes, dice, sleeves, binders, and more. Check them out at the link below, and don't forget to use my discount code WinnerKills10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order. And lastly, if you guys are buying anything on TCG Player, please feel free to use my affiliate link found in the description below. Anytime you guys shop and check out using that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase goes right back into the channel. So here in game 2, I obviously lead. I go Harvester at Dozer. My opponent has Droll again, but I have called by again, so I guess fair enough. And then I go Dozer, Tribute Harvester, Chainlink 1 Dozer, Chainlink 2 Daracrane. I'm trying to play around a possible Ash, but he has an effect fail. I'm like, all right, fair enough. Now I have an option. Do I go into Ballista or do I go into Knuckle? Keep in mind I have Citadel in hand. And I was torn on what to do next. So I'm like, I'll make a Goliath here to help get an extra name engrave, or, if I try to go for the Ballista route to get access to Tunneler, etc., etc. But I make a huge error here, and I go for a Ballista, which in hindsight didn't make sense at all. You could argue maybe it made sense, assuming that it was going to resolve. But my opponent ends up having another hand trap. It's another Veiler. And yes, 3 hand traps is 3 hand traps. It's hard to really counter that and prepare for that and try to play around that. If they have 3, they have 3. But like, I don't know what I was going to get off of this. Like, even if I go like add box, add Trencher, summon Trencher, link it off, bring something back, like I don't resolve Tunneler, I still get a Knuckle, and I waste resources. So why not just go for Knuckle, especially since I have a Citadel burning a hole in my hand, and during the opponent's turn I could just go Knuckle effect, pitch the Citadel, summon out Daracrane, which would pair very, very well with the card that I have set, which I think you guys might have been able to see it already at this point. And as I remember to offer my opponent a cut. But you guys have already seen it at this point. I believe it's IO. You guys, I think, have seen it already. IO's like crazy. Like, I drew my opening hand. I'm like, I win this game for free. And it was Harvester called by Daracrane. Harvester called by Daracrane, Citadel, IO. Like, that was my opening 5. Like, I should have just made Knuckle, man. I should have just made Knuckle. There is almost like no reason for me to go for Ballista. It got hard punished by the fact that he had a third hand trap or a second Veiler. And I thought maybe I would go for a Tunneler and try to resolve it. But even then, if I went for Tunneler, I'd have to tribute the Ballista, then link the Tunneler for a Goliath, and then I would have Ballista engrave plus Daracrane, Dozer. So I'd be able to resolve the Tunneler, I believe, but it'd be a very poor Tunneler. And at that point, I don't know what I'm really trying to draw. So my opponent searches Ravine, Boot, goes Quick Launch. I'm like, nope, shut it down. And he has Nocto, he has Boot, he has Ravine, and I'm not sure if the other one is actually known at this point. But I know at least he has Boot, Ravine. So 2 of the cards in his hand are completely... Yeah, I think it's just Nocto, Ravine, Boot. So, like, imagine if I had made Knuckle at this point, right? Romulus has 12. He attempts to leave main phase to go to end phase. I use Knuckle, pitch the Daracrane to summon out, or pitch the Citadel, summon out Daracrane. And on my turn, I could go ahead and actually use Knuckle, sending itself off to bring out the Citadel. He can't Veiler because it tributes itself for cost. So, obviously you wouldn't have the chance to use that third Valor if I don't go, or the second Valor if I don't go for the Ballista turn one, obviously, so he'd still have it. But I'm forced at this point to just go battle phase attack over Romulus. Now, yes, this play is fine and can go unpunished. I just need to draw a good card because right now I don't have one. Very unfortunate. I drew Droll and Lockbird for turn. My opponent, I think, drew a Red MD for turn, so I get another free turn here. I draw I think I drew redeployment here. So I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, okay. And I didn't realize, I mean, in the moment, I'm like, you know, I probably should have made Knuckle. But I was like, you know what, I'll just go for Ballista. But now I'm really realizing that if I would have gone for Knuckle, it would have done two things. Allow me to establish a rank 10 over the course of those 2 turns. And also give me a way to out my own order because of Knuckles' graveyard effect. But here I am stuck in, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Purgatory. My own order just preventing me from playing. As I draw another spell, I draw the one of Urgent Schedule that I decided to play for the evening, and I said it. And at this point, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I've got the best possible floodgate I could have for this particular matchup, and I just can't capitalize on it, all because I didn't make Knuckle, man. Oh, this feature match, you guys, probably just me venting, but like I said, it's just an opportunity to learn, and that's what I'm looking back at it as, because it is very painful for me to watch this. Like it feels like I'm pulling out a knife, because like I know Earth Machine is a incredible deck for what it is. It's obviously not tier 1, but it's one of those decks that like you can pick up. You know, a lot of people might not know what it does. I mean, the deck's become pretty popular over a good while, which is awesome to see, because it is a great deck, and there's been a lot of really brilliant minds behind the deck over the past couple of years, or year and a half, so ever since the new Machina structure deck came out. And I just really wish I could have represented it better here in the 4th and final round, especially since like the winner of this, I think, probably was getting first place. Or no, the winner of this match did get first place. So like Earth Machines, I just feel like I did not do it justice here with this particular match. So instead of just, you know, commentating the matches, I wanted to take this time to go ahead and like reflect on it, and just, you know, notice the mistakes I made and never make them again, and really try to, next time I'm in a game state like this, you know, slow down a bit more, think about everything a little bit longer. Obviously don't slow play, but, you know, be more present and be more observant in the moment, and taking that couple extra seconds and just relaxing, thinking clearly, staying calm, seeing a play like going for the Anger Knuckle probably would have came to mind, and I would have won this game probably hands down. We'd at least go to a game 3, but my opponent is able to establish a Savage Dragon, and I draw, what do I draw? A Dozer for turn, I believe, as I take the last 700 that I'm going to take this match. And I believe I just throw the cards in here. Unfortunately, my next draw was a Fortress, which would have been, I needed to draw any monster, but I didn't. But yeah, unfortunately, Earth Machine falling here 2-0 to Dragon Link, more like falling 2-0 to myself. But you live and you learn, and I'm definitely better off for it. So I hope this was a learning experience for you guys as well. If you want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. And last but not least, a special shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members, and they're Cadillacs84, Pony Stark, Keith Sidgers, Tweeter0226, and Black Ninja Money. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your extremely generous support.